Hey everyone, this is Kalyan. Hope so you're staying safe and your preparation is going good as well. Today we're going to discuss one of the important chapter which is usually left by the students, which is the appeals and revisions under GST. First of all, we're going to discuss the flow in which the appeal and revision chapter is. First of all, when the order is passed under section 73 and 74 by adjudicating authority, then the aggrieved person have an option to appeal to the appellate authority. If the aggrieved person is a taxpayer, then he can file the appeal within 3 months plus 1 month of condemnation. But when the department is the aggrieved person, then they have the time limit of 2 times, that is 3 months to 2 times, it is 6 months plus 1 month of condemnation of delay. The taxpayer is required to deposit, mandatory deposit the 100% of the undisputed amount, and in the disputed amount, he is required to deposit 10% of the disputed amount, which is subjected to maximum of 25 crores. If the department not able to file the appeal with the appellate authority within set period of 6 months plus 1 month, then the department will go for the revisionary order, which is passed within 3 years of original order, that is ordered by the adjudicating authority. We will be discussing the technicalities of this part in later part of the video. If a person is agreed by the order of the appellate authority, which is called the speaking order, or the revisional order by revisional authority, then they have the option to file further appeal to the appellate tribunal, which is basically a two-tier tribunal where national and regional bench at the state level, central level, and the state and area bench at the state level. The cases which is pertaining to the POS are dealt with the national and regional bench, but when the cases other than the POS are dealt by the state or area bench. The reason being the simple, because if the issues regarding the POS, then two or more states are involved, then it will be tedious for the government to solve the issue. So it has given the power to directly to the national and regional bench. So as the national and regional bench are only one, then it becomes easy for the government to solve the issues. If the aggrieved party is a taxpayer, then he will be having a 3 months plus 3 months of condemnation of delay. But if it is a department, they are having the 6 months of time to file the appeal. The taxpayer is required to deposit 20% of the disputed amount is subjected to maximum 50 crores. A point to be noted here that the 25 crores and the 50 crores limit are exclusive. That is the CGST 25 crores and SGST 25 crores. CGST 50 crores and SGST 50 crores. Also, if further a person is agreed by the order or the orders by the appellate tribunal, if it is pertaining to POS, then they can directly go for the Supreme Court. But it is when it is relating to the other than the POS, then they are required to file further appeal with the High Court, which is in 180 days. Only if the issue is regarding the question of law. Further, if again the parties are aggrieved, then the aggrieved party can file the appeal to the Supreme Court from the High Court. If and only if the High Court certifies that the case is fit to approach the Supreme Court. That also a point to be noted here, that the taxpayer is required to completely deposit the complete amount of the disputed amount and undisputed amount if they are filing their appeal with the Supreme Court and High Court. Now we're going to discuss the technicalities of the chapter. If an order passed by the adjudicating authority under section 73 and 74, then the aggrieved person, if he is assessee of the taxpayer, he will be having a 3 months plus 1 month of condemnation of delay. He is required to file the appeal with the appellate authority in GST APL 01, and GST APL 02 is the acknowledgement for the appeal, and he is required to deposit the undisputed amount completely. This is full, and disputed amount of 10% of the disputed amount subjected to maximum 25%. When the department is the aggrieved party, then the officer will file the appeal with the adjudicating with the appellate authority on the directions of the commissioner. The commissioner here is the commissioner of the CGST. He cannot directly ask the officer to file an appeal. He may on his own motion or request received from the CGST or SGST. That means if if the CGST, if the SGST and UTGST commissioners from the state or the union territory level, if they have any information that the adjudicating authority has passed the order which is basically against the revenue of the interest of the department, then he asked the CGST commissioner to direct an officer to file the appeal with the adjudicate appellate authority, which is in 6 months plus 1 month, and the appeal should be filed within the GST APL 03, and acknowledgement for this is GST APL 04. As soon as the appeal is filed with the appellate authority, he or they is required to, which is the not mandatory but it recommendatory for the appellate authority to dispose of the appeal within 1 year of filing the appeal. But in this period of 1 year, the period of stay, if any obtained by the any of the parties from the competent court, shall not be included. Also, if an order passed by the appellate authority, which is called the speaking order, then both of the parties, then the appellate authority is required to furnish the order to all the parties above the appeal, which is the adjudicating authority, which is taxpayer, and the officer or the department. But when the appeal is not able to filed by the department within the 6 months plus 1 month of period, including the continuation of delay, then the department can go for the revisionary order by the revisionary authority. The reason being simple: if a CGST officer is corrupted, then he may, at the discretion of his own interest, the financial interest, he may not go and ask the officer to file any appeal with the appellate authority. Then it may cause a severe loss to the department in form of revenue. So to safeguard this, they have implemented the revisionary authority. We can clearly see here that when the revisionary authority can pass an order either on his own motion or obtaining any information or any request from the UTGST and SGST, like same here also for the appeal by the department for the first time, same applies here too. But he cannot directly pass any order on the examination of the orders passed by the adjudicating authority, which is the first party. Order passed by the adjudicating authority, if he feels that the order passed by the adjudicating authority is EMI, which is EMI means erroneous, material facts are not considered, and or illegal. If any of these are met and the order is passed wrongly, then he can pass the revisionary order. Also, a point to be noted here that these orders can be further appealed with the appellate tribunal, the High Court, and the Supreme Court, as we seen earlier. Here you can clearly see the speaking order by the appellate authority and the revisionary order by the revisionary authority can be further appealed with the appellate tribunal. What are the orders that cannot be revised by the revisionary authority? If an order already being revised, then he cannot have the power to revise the order. Also, any orders which are already passed by the appellate authority or appellate tribunal or the High Court or the Supreme Court, then he cannot have any option to file to revise the orders. Also, these revisionary orders to be filed within 3 years of the initial order. Here we have been discussing that appellate tribunal, appellate authority. But who is the appellate authority? If an order is passed by the joint commissioner or the additional commissioner, then the appellate authority is the commissioner appeals. But when it is order is passed by the deputy commissioner or assistant commissioner or superintendent, then it is the joint commissioner of appeals is the adjudicating authority. Also, you can clearly here see here that, as we discussed earlier, orders passed by the appellate authority and the regional authority are mutually exclusive, that only one of them will exist. The reason being, if appellate authority, the department goes for an appeal to the appellate authority, then there is no option for the department to go for the regional authority. And the points to be remembered in case of the appellate tribunal, appeal to the appellate tribunal. Appellate tribunal may refer back the case to the adjudicating authority or regional authority. We can clearly see here that the appeal to the appellate tribunal the appellate tribunal has the power to refer back to the case. If it is a speaking order, then he can refer back to the appellate authority. If it is a regional order, he can refer back to the regional authority. But if it is the at his own discretion, he may also refer back to the adjudicating authority. So he can refer back the case to any of the lower parties, that is the adjudicating authority and regional authority and appellate authority. Generally, the appellate tribunal cannot refuse to admit the appeal, but if the demand of the case, demand for the appeal is less than 50,000, then he may at his own discretion cannot admit the appeal. But if and only if the amount of disputed amount, that is the actual tax or the ITC, or the difference between the disputed difference of the tax amount or the fee or in penalty, they are lower than the 50,000, then at his own discretion he may not refuse to admit the appeal. Also, order to be passed by appellate tribunal which is in 1 year of filing of the appeal. Also, he can have the power to revise the order passed by him within 3 months of the date of order passed by the appellate tribunal. And the final concept which we gonna discuss is regarding the refund of the disputed amount. The amount which the taxpayer has deposited with the appellate authority or appellate tribunal or high court or supreme court, it needs to be refunded if the case is won by the assessee, that is judgment or the order is in favor of the assessee. Then along with the disputed amount, the government is obliged to pay an interest of 9% on such disputed amount which is deposited, and the rate of interest shall be calculated from the date of payment, that is the date of deposit, till the date of refund. But when it comes to the high court and supreme court, the time limit is reduced by 60 days. That is, the date of payment, the starting date is, if he paid on 1st of January, then after the 60 days the period of interest shall be paid. After 60 days, the government is obliged to pay the interest, that is, it is reduced by 60 days. The reason being simple, that if the case is to be heard by the judges in the supreme court or high court, then it may take some time. So the government has gave a relaxation and reduced the period for about 60 days. Hope so you guys like this video and share with your friends too. Thank you.